Well, if you guys are still here after this shit stain of a weekend, you guys are you're nuts. Apparently Dave left mid intro, but oh no, he's back. He's back. All right, everybody. We're here to recap what happened Saturday with a little bit of a cooler head. I'm still pissed off. I mean, I might be less
Yeah,
pissed
he
off.
is.
Yeah, I mean, to be
Oh,
honest
yeah.
with you, viewers, you're kind of glad I wasn't there because I was flaming pretty hard. But we're going to talk it. We're going to break it down, and then we're going to see what to look forward. Make some comments, some stuff like that, as well as you obviously see on the title. Who's the Fool? Motta Rumors, UCL Hopes, and Coppa Italia. Here to keep me mellow and not losing my shit. I have a Canadian and a German, so I don't know if that's going to help me or if that's going to make me even more pissed off. But
Yeah, it's not going to help you at all.
So who wants to go first? German Dave?
No,
Canadian
it's
Dave?
absolutely not gonna help you. Hey, it's absolutely not gonna help you because you have the guys with you that had to do the watch along on that game.
Hey, I walk my dogs, man. I'm good.
Dave walked his dogs. I punched a couple holes in wall. No, I'm just kidding. I did not punch holes in walls, but I mean, honestly, like, where do we begin? I mean, the biggest thing here is just like, is this just me? But outside maybe one or two players, is our squad just filled with a bunch of cowards?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, we can use different adjectives, I'm sure. And
I
you know,
think, to be honest, I hate sounding like an asshole, but I just think like a squad of cowards is literally what it is. I've never seen people be so afraid to play a kid's game in my life. Because let's be honest, because footy is it's a child's game. It's a kid's game that these guys are being paid multi-million euros to play this game. And yet I see a bunch of people or a bunch of athletes just absolutely afraid to play. Like that to me just baffled me. I've just never seen such a group of cowards.
well, you know what they say, 25 is the new 15.
I guess so, man. I don't know. Like for me, it's just like I was watching it and I'm looking at stuff and it's like some of the positions that these guys were in, absolutely no pressure, nothing to lose your goddamn mind about. But what did they do? Absolutely shit themselves. It's like, and here's the thing for folks that, you know, are into celebrations and other shenanigans, right? The amount of laughing I saw after was absolutely ridiculous by certain players and stuff like that, where I'm like, dude, like, read the room. You haven't won a game since Frosinone. You should not be laughing or smiling at all.
See, I didn't even see that because I just shut stuff off.
It was not good.
Oh, immediately.
It was not good because I saw it. It was Koundé and Rabiot talking, and Rabiot was like giggling in front of the camera, and I'm like, bro, like I understand, like it's a game, but like you have to understand the situation that you're in. Like if I was Allegri, I wouldn't even look at it from a perspective of doing an interview or a post-match press conference or anything. Like that was one of those where you go into the locker room and that's it. No cameras, no comments, no nothing.
You mentioned two names that might not even be here next season as well. So maybe they don't even care.
If we have time and I talk about what needs to happen for the future, it's going to be a full like scorched earth. Like you're gonna have to, like you need to.
Same
like
for me.
It's very bad. Maharaj, I think I said it right. Hi guys, good to see all of you after a horrible match. I didn't feel anything after yesterday's loss. Like I have accepted that this team and coach need a revolution. It needs a lot of things, right? And we'll start off with the game. German Dave's got some numbers and some statistics, but for me, I think the biggest chump of that match was Locatelli.
For me, honestly, it's if you guys like and subscribe to the video. But honestly, I mean, that's what helps me the most. That will make me feel better. It might make Dash feel better, but he has no soul, so it'll definitely make me feel good. I'm sure Dave cares about it too. We need the numbers, guys. Hit the like and subscribe, and that is right there, the Discord. We haven't done the advertising yet, but we're going to push it out. We're doing the WrestleMania watch party in the Discord. So that's how you're going to get in. You need to scan that, or there's a link in the description. And that's all next weekend. I will have to miss it. I am on my way to Macedonia and Greece. Sorry, guys. I'm leaving you for a few weeks. But I know German Dave and Dash are super into it, and I hope you guys are to it as well. So get into that Discord, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, do it all, and please settle in because I think these boys are about to cook.
Go ahead, German Dave. Cook, as Dave says it.
All right. So I'm coming with the flamethrower today. I'm still angry at the game. I walked myself, and I still haven't calmed down. And I don't have the energy Oscar has to go again 4 games, but yeah, somehow we will have to watch it. Okay. But yeah, this team took completely sucked my energy out for this game, and I think for Dave it was the same till he himself walked the dogs. Yeah. So we didn't have any sort of control over this game, like literally nothing. Not via the midfield. We played in a whatever 4-man defense and whatever the guys in front of that were. I still haven't figured out what the formation was supposed to be. Because Cambiaso wasn't playing right winger, he was still playing somehow right midfield or something. He wasn't playing like actual offensive football. We didn't have any sort of control via the midfield. We completed 77% of our passes. So that is trash. Like, how many possessions did we give away in the first half? And actually, the XG for Lazio should have been higher, because how many chances did Castellanos like miss and hit the outside of the net, which those shots don't even count as like shots on goal, but all of those were dangerous situations and dangerous shots at our goals. We could have been literally down 3-0 because we didn't produce anything out of some outside the box shots by Chiesa.
And let's compare that to Inter. Inter did the same thing today, where they didn't produce anything, but they still won 2-0.
Yeah, but you know what? If they have the look, Inter is a team like us that gives the opposition the ball. Inter can do shit with even 20 or 30% ball possession. They have control over the midfield. They have the statesman. They have control over the wingbacks. They are teams.
That's what I'm saying. They look like us today. They look like trash, but they still somehow won 2-0.
But you know what? But they have still the quality to move somehow the ball forward or via the wingbacks, or to create something out of shithouse set pieces.
That Mexican scored today, of all people. What's his name? The bug-eyed Mexican dude. No, he's Chilean. He's Chilean.
Jesus, damn,
he's Chilean.
They don't all
the bug-eyed Chilean
like.
guy. Lautaro Martinez. Sorry, Mexicans.
It cut out. It cut out a bit again for me, so I didn't hear the discrimination on South Americans.
Dave thought Alexis Sanchez was Mexican. Dave's like, Sanchez, Mexican.
I'm sorry. Oh man, but yeah, that guy.
Oh man.
But here's the crazy thing, right? So
yeah,
go ahead, German Dave.
Yeah. No, go for it. I don't know what to say, honestly.
So,
I'm a little bit off at the loss of words.
Let me briefly touch on this with Inter, right? So despite Inter not having the ball much, not looking like themselves, they still are able to create clear-cut opportunities. They had a 2.1 expected goals against Empoli today. Didn't look like, so if you look at the momentum chart, and I watched the game, they had 3 holy shit moments and they scored 2 of them. So like for them, they know what to do. They have the veteran squad. They have players, because to be honest with you, I don't think Inzaghi is this incredible tactician. He's not. He really isn't. But when you look at the roster that they have and the players that have played at the levels that they've played at, they know what to do. They know when to do it, how to do it. And they're all that at that point where they're experienced. They're not, they're not players that are going to fumble under pressure. It's a well-oiled, well-matured roster that they have, versus with us, it's like we concede 1 goal, or if something doesn't go our way, it's just kind of like, well, shit, I don't know what to do. Like that's honestly how this current Juventus team plays. And I wanted to touch on, because I saw one of the comments, right, where, the concern is, so I'm going to lay this down for you guys, a little bit of logic on here when it comes to the sacking of Allegri. Am I defending Allegri? No. I think yesterday or Saturday, he should get slapped across the face for that 4-3-3 that he tried playing at the beginning of the game. That is one of those, I think I'm smarter than you, but I completely flopped. That was the most stupidest starting lineup you could ever play.
I almost think, and Dave mentioned it too, that he was just trying to troll, prove a point.
I don't know. Was he trying to get himself sacked? That's what I thought when I saw that lineup, because what the hell? You have Timmy Weah and you have you're not even playing Timmy Weah as a starter. If anything, why is Moretti playing against, and I said this in the pregame, Moretti will get eaten alive against Lazio because Lazio are a physically aggressive team. And when you are playing with Tudor ball is in your face, aggressive pressuring. Guess who doesn't do well in those situations? Moretti is not good in those situations. So that means you're already down a man in the midfield. And again, he played, it was like a hybrid of a 3-4-3, 3-4-2-1. So you have 5 offensive Lazio midfield players that are all offensively capable and very big dudes that manhandled that midfield that we have. Locatelli was essentially playing for his life, even though he isn't good under pressure, and it's been exposed time in and time again. I'm sorry, Moretti has the technical abilities. Moretti is technically gifted. I'm not saying that he's not. But physically right now, he is a rag doll. You're essentially playing a man down. And it's not because Moretti's not technically gifted. He's just not big enough. He's just so damn small. And that's I'm just looking at that lineup. And it's just to me, it's this is unbelievable. I can't believe what I've seen. But to go back to where I wanted to say, guys, we have to understand this, right? If we sack Allegri, we have 2 options right now. Currently, we have 2 options. Landucci, whether Landucci is able to accept being an interim for 2 months, 2 to 3 months, or you sign Conte, but you give Conte a 2 to 3 year contract, because Conte is not signing on for 2 months. No way in hell Antonio Conte is going to say, yeah, I'll just be a caretaker manager. You're not bringing Montero up, because if you bring in Montero, you essentially burn Montero, and Montero's not doing well in the Primavera as well either. He's only got 1 win in the last 8 matches. Montero's not doing well either.
This is worse than getting Pirlo in.
It is, and you don't even want to get Pirlo from Sampdoria right now. Even on the manager side, right? Even if we wanted to make a change, we are royally fucked when it comes to doing a manager shift before the summer. Am I disagreeing with the idea that there needs to be a refresh? Absolutely, there needs to be an absolute. This project needs to be taken outside with a bunch of gasoline, some kerosene, and just torched. This entire thing needs to be torched. That's
you can't just burn kerosene like that. It's
I just want to be vile, Dave.
You want gasoline. Kerosene you can't throw a match on. You need to compress. Come on, guys.
I just want to be absolutely diabolical here. Because the problem is, right, if we were to sack him, Conte's not going to stay for just 2 months.
No.
And this team,
nobody is. Who would?
These little shitheads of athletes that are on this roster need an Antonio Conte to slap the living shit out of them. No, they seriously do. Because here's the thing, right? Because when we started, everyone's like, play the youths, play the youths, play the youths. Well, when you play a youth that isn't well experienced, you get a goal conceded like Sekudov did. Unfortunately, right? Even though it shouldn't have been him in that position, Illing should have covered, because that player is Illing's responsibility, or McKennie should have covered, because if you look at the goal they conceded, you had 3 Juve players covering fuck all nobody, because they're not covering anybody. They were just ball watching. And then you have the poor kid that's a Serie C player that's guarding Marusic, which 9 out of 10 times the Serie C player is not going to beat a Serie A player in anything. So it's just I look at it and it's just the coach got the lineup wrong. The coach got the players wrong. The players, again, themselves, for me, it looks like the players are hey, I think we're good for top 4. Cool, let's just phone it in. It's for example, you play FIFA career mode, you win all 18 of your first matches, and you just get tired of it, and you simulate till the end of the season. That's honestly what this looks like. It literally looks like these players simulating. And the only manager right now that's available that can do anything, that can get any kind of reaction, is Antonio Conte. But the problem is if you get Conte, you burn Motta, you burn Italiano, you burn any other option that you want because you are not getting him. Conte is not going to sign for 2 months. And again, with Landucci, if you fire Allegri and you keep Landucci because Landucci is Allegri's assistant, are you really changing anything?
I don't know if you can. Yeah, I mean, you could, but that might not be a possibility depending on allegiances.
Because I think I think there's a lot of things that need to be adjusted. There's a lot of things that need to get fixed. But the problem is right now, we are legitimately pinched in a very bad situation because Monta's not leaving Bologna early. Same thing for Italiano, right? Those are the prospects that you have that people are hoping for. Zinedine Zidane, no way in hell he is taking this job. No way in hell. Why would
his name hasn't even been mentioned?
He's not going. He's not going to.
The only names that have legitimately been mentioned are Motta, and we'll get into this a bit more too. And not even us looking, but him on his knees begging, Conte. That's it. And we know Motta's not coming. So you have a possibility of Conte, perhaps. That's it.
Look, let me drop some gospel here. So I study sports management, and before the end of last year, we had a practice week and went to the practice facility or training facility of the Bundesliga team VfB Stuttgart, who are right now third and only 1 point behind Bayern. All right. So we had access to their scouting tools. They have player scouting tools. They have coaches and manager scouting tools. They have scouting tools on the doctors and medical staff and everything to know who they want, who fits their project and whatever, because they have all the fucking data in the world. Okay. So we were able as the students to play around with the tool a bit and look up some numbers, etc. And of course, everything is NDA, like on their own data, but I can tell you a bit because I had some fun looking up Juve stats. So our team is only set up to work on a 3-5-2. So therefore, every coach that plays something different doesn't work for this team. No matter what you do, you can't play a different formation because you will get cooked on every single position on the field. We can produce offensively. We have a bad midfield, and our defense is not set up for a four-man defense. We will get cooked on the wings. We will get cooked in the middle of the defense, and our goalkeeper is sorry but horrible with the ball at his feet.
Yeah.
Did I forget any single position?
Nope.
You probably got her all.
No, and we have strikers
the
that
whole
aren't
team
available.
Wouldn't work in that. Yeah. So the only coaches we can take are coaches that coach a 3-5-2. Who are the coaches that are best suited for a 3-5-2? It's the coach we have currently.
Mourinho.
It's Conte, like we talked. Mourinho, exactly. The Reds face Inzaghi. I forgot his name shortly, and a guy that we all laughed about, Rudy Garcia.
What?
You can have fun and try and get Diego Simeone out of Atletico.
Good luck paying that. He's on 20 million a season.
Yeah. And on the team, he's been more longer than a decade on already.
Yep.
So the only viable option that can work is Conte. And I swear to God, if this team would start working under Conte, all of a sudden, honest to God, I will torch every single one of them because they sabotaged Allegri. Because in my opinion, Allegri is 10 times the coach that Conte is and the man manager. I swear to God, if they start performing better under Conte, if we get him hypothetically, then honest to they sabotage the teams, they sabotage the coach because they gave half effort the whole season, especially since January. and I swear to God, I want every single soul that is playing on that field sold, and I don't care then also about Yildiz or world-class talent or potential, because no one of you is giving the effort that is needed to play for the Champions League places and actually win something, because you'll have losers mentalities. All right.
No, he's not. You're not wrong. I don't disagree with that at all. Like for me, it's like I look at this and it's like there are so many players I want to leave. Like for example, I know Rabiot's contributions, but I'm sorry, you're done. Like him laughing with Koundé on the sideline after that, I'm like, no. Like go to a Premier League club, man. Like I understand your physicality and your defense and all that other shenanigans. Just I'm done with Rabiot. I'm done with these 1-year extensions with him. Oh yeah, he might sign another 1 year, et cetera, at his wage. See you later, dude. Like I don't want to deal with this anymore.
Well, let's be honest, right? Because he's an Allegri player. I think at this point, I mean, odds would say he's gone.
And for me, like, look, here's another thing that might not be popular, but I also want Dusan sold. I don't think he's mature enough to lead this roster.
Yeah, I
don't think he is. Especially you get a yellow, you get yourself sent off when your team's in a tight spot offensively. You're the only attacking option with Milik injured. Keane, I'm sorry, Keane's not ready. And like Keane isn't fit. Like you could tell that game he wasn't fit. So then you do some shithousery and get yourself sent off because of a foul. And it's just like, I don't know what else. It's just like it's a team full of children. It really is.
Look, we talk about physicality and sorry.
No, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, I'm done.
You got to cut him off anyways, right?
Look, we talk about physicality, this physicality, that. At some point, our midfield has to play with the ball. It's enough with his physicality. All right, we win like 85 to 90% of our duels every time, which is fine. Thank you. But football is played with the ball at his feet, and every single one of our midfielders is just a so-called physical midfielder and not able to play with the ball and pass it like over 85% with 85% accuracy. Then sorry, but it doesn't work. How do you build up like some place through the midfield? How are you involving your wingbacks? How are you binding the midfield to the so-called second striker that doesn't play second striker? How should this work if you don't have players that can play accurate passes or have some press resistancy? Like without being pressed, our best look, our midfielder with the best pass completion is Locatelli with 85.5 the whole season.
So
if you pass him a little bit, that number goes down to 75%. So on 25% of the passes, you lose the ball, which leads into immediately a counter attack because you lose the ball deep in your own half.
Okay, so no, because I mean technically,
I'm back. Cook, Dave. Go for it, Dave.
I mean, we're supposed to be post-gaming / breaking things down, and right now we're kind of firing at all angles, right? So,
oh yeah,
I mean, it's clear what's wrong, what was wrong last game, and what has been wrong for the past 9 games. Essentially, nothing's changed at all ever since 2024. Like that, it's the same story week in and week out. So everything's fucked. Everything. We got to blow it. Is that the consensus? Essentially,
that's where I'm at.
Blow it all up.
We blow it up. You have to. There's no way you don't.
We have to. Yeah. And by the way, we have this same team we had last season. We changed Di Maria for Chiesa, who was injured the whole last season, and we changed Cuadrado to Weah. It's the same team we had last year. And how is it supposed to perform differently?
It doesn't.
Well, it hasn't. It hasn't at all. And we're basically at the same numbers, more or less, than as we were last year, right?
Yeah.
So nothing's changed at all. The only difference is that we don't have the whole world trying to shit on our parade. So it should be better this year.
It should.
But it's not. So it's a matter of what we do, and there are no options, honestly. I think Conte is the only emergency button that we have. He's the big red button. Do you press it? And if not yet, when? At which point do you press the big red Conte button? I'm going to make a big red Conte button, I think.
It's this squad core. It's not it. It's not built for sustainability.
So do you just play out the season and then blow it up in the summer and whatever is?
You have to move certain pieces.
So even if it means we're going to finish outside of Europe. Like at what point? Because I think even if it's like if we finish 7th at this point, like do we not press the button at that point if we're slipping that
here's the problem. We're not gonna have an incredible transfer market in the summer either without moving pieces. Because it was 65 allegedly, right? 65, 45 for one, 25 for another midfielder. That doesn't solve your issue. No, it's not going to fix your problem. One of these three have to go. And more than likely, it's going to be two. Chiesa, Dusan, or Bremer.
I'm going to say Chiesa might still stay just to keep him for another year.
No, depends on the coach. Like, if we press the big red Conte button, hypothetically, then Chiesa's gone because he won't have him as a second striker. He will be not just because of fragility. He doesn't fit the system.
No, like mental fragility. Like I don't think it would work under Conte. Personally, that's my feeling. Maybe it is what he needs, though. Perhaps.
But
he would crumble.
If you, Conte would destroy him.
I'm just giving the benefit of the doubt.
Even if you were to sack Allegri with Landucci, it's still the same thing. It's Landucci's Allegri's assistant. He's been Allegri's assistant for 20 years.
It's this, Vincenzo's saying the fact that the Conte button hasn't been pressed yet could show that they have a coach already lined up. Now those were the reports today that Motta is already lined up.
Yeah, but they won't release the years. They won't release the money. They won't release any of that because it's all speculative. I'm sorry. It's just until there's like concrete years that this person is staying, the amount that they're paying this individual, it's bullshit. Because, like, for example, they said before, concrete. There's with Guardiola. What was it? 4 or 5 years ago with Guardiola. It never happened. And then next thing later, we went from Guardiola to Maurizio Sarri. Like, I can't stand these journalists that sit here and just be like, "Oh man, Juve's in the fritz. Let me get some clicks by saying, oh yeah." And the funny thing is like they just have a picture of Motta. Like they're not even gonna. It's bullshit.
So two things are happening here. That either there is an agreement in principle or like a gentleman's agreement where they've talked and they said, yes, if these situations persist, we'll agree to these terms. Nothing official, but just that, like, we've talked, we've had lunch, talked about it. It's either that or what you're saying. And it's just the journalists losing their mind because we heard both things today, that Motta's coming. And we also heard that the board has faith in Allegri and he's going to see out the season. And maybe that's both true. But there's a bit of a conflict. Like there always is, right? The Italian papers always contradict themselves. If not on the same day, then at least the next day they will. We're pulling at straws at this point. No, everyone is, because it's slow-hanging fruit.
I do think, though, I really do think like a huge rebuild is needed. Huge rebuild. Locatelli is just not the guy that people thought he was. That he came in. For example, I think Dusan's a luxury piece. I really do. Because, like, for example, you look at Inter have cycled through Lukaku, through Edin Dzeko, Lautaro, Thuram. As long as you have a solid midfield, it doesn't matter who the hell you put up front. It really doesn't matter. As long as you have guys, for example, Manchester City had a solid midfield and they were producing and they were giving goals and they were making options before Haaland came in. So it's like, for example, I that's why I don't like, for example, I don't like us putting, for example, you make a big striker purchase if you know that that's what gets you over the hump, not as a foundational piece.
Yep.
Because then, okay, great, I spent 85 million on the striker and I have 3 Morettis behind him who get bossed off the ball. What's that $85 million striker going to do me? Nothing.
Well, he isn't because of that.
So it's like, for example, unless that striker is able to compensate for it, which he's not,
and you know about compensating.
That is true. He's not. So then what's the point, right? Like, for example, yes, you can argue, yes, he's made some clutch goals this season. Perfectly fine, right? But at the same time, it's just like, okay, great. What happens when he's not there? Because that's the other thing that Dusan has an issue with, is his availability is not the greatest. He is quite injury prone. So it's just like,
yeah.
I think he's a luxury, right? So to answer the question about Motta, how do we feel about Motta? For him, he needs a complete overhaul.
Which would possibly mean getting Ursuline, Califlori, Ferguson, and Zirixi.
He needs a complete overhaul. One, you would have to sell Bremer. Bremer does not stay on a Motta team. Two, it's going to be either, more than likely, it's going to be Dusan that gets sold instead of Chiesa. Chiesa gets another shot. I think Chiesa will have to learn how to invert properly, because Motta's tactical system, it's a 2-7-2, not vertically, but a horizontal. So 2 players on the left, 7 in the middle, 2 players on the right. The 7 players on the middle occupy space and occupy players. So the individuals, the twos on the opposite ends, have the ability to cook on the sides and invert and cut in. That Motta tactical system is very, very, very dependent on the inversion of wingers and their capabilities to invert. I think Sule could possibly thrive in this, hypothetically. My biggest concern with Sule is the biggest concern I have with Moretti. They are both physically tiny.
Yeah.
They have not gotten into their grown-ass puberty, per se, like your second puberty. They're very scrawny, very flimsy. So again, the easiest way to shut those guys out, you throw a big guy on them, boom, non-factor. If you look at, that's what Cataldi did against Moretti. Moretti, you didn't even know if Moretti was playing. So you need physical players to be able to address that. However, can he succeed at Juve? Yes. Will he get pressured into getting sacked earlier than he will be, kind of like Pirlo did? Absolutely. That is my biggest concern. My biggest concern is that people will expect Motta to take water and turn it into wine within 1 season, and they will go on the Motta out train. Because he is similar to Allegri as far as pragmatic approach. The only difference is he's got a set way and a set parameters where players need to play, where Allegri's kind of like defensively organized, offensively do whatever the fuck you want. With Motta, it's a little bit more differently, but it is still very, very pragmatic. And my biggest concern is I think that people are going to run thin on his patience, essentially, with him, and he might get pressured out of the gig.
Do you have 2 to 3 seasons?
That's the question. If he has 3 seasons, he will be successful. If he has 3 seasons with 2 seasons without any pressure, the 3rd season is when the expectations get put on. I think he could be very successful and he could be very fruitful. The same thing goes along with Italiano as well. If you were to give Motta and Italiano 3 seasons, 3 seasons, like they have to be on the bench for 3 seasons, 2 without the Motta or Italiano out, which I know a lot of you shitheads on the internet have that's the first thing that you press. However, if you are willing to give him 2 seasons without buying a billboard in Times Square, I think Motta and Italiano could both be very successful. But the question is, are you willing to give them those 2 seasons with the risk of not finishing top 4?
And here's the problem, and I warned this too back in the starry Pirlo days, right? Where, because I've seen rebuilds in other sports where they can kind of get away with it because they're not going to get relegated. They can just be in last for a couple of years as they play all their youngsters. It's a bit different in footy, of course. But I always said it takes 5 to 7 years. And I've seen my hockey team, the Leafs, rebuild for 20 years until they now sort of almost have it right, but it's only been sort of almost right for the past 7 years, right? Like you have to blow everything up. And that's what the Leafs did, and it finally worked. It's what Detroit did. It was what Chicago did. These are examples of franchises in the sporting world that blew it up and their teams had to suffer for years. It's a 5 to 7 year process. And because we continue to fumble this for the past, how many years has it been now? 5? We should be winning now if we blew it up 5 years ago, but we didn't.
Yeah, I mean, with hockey and footy, right? I think hockey takes a little bit longer just because to get into the majors is a bit of a longer process, right? I think with footy, I think 3 years is the cap, right?
Let's just say it's 3 to 5. I mean 5 generally speaking.
I was gonna say because like for example, because with when you draft an NHL player, they're not playing in the majors the first season they're drafted. What they go to the
I mean it is different. We're doing nuance here, but I mean when you continue to get in last place, you get the first round draft pick, and those guys typically jump right into the NHL.
Yeah, because
whatever league.
I was gonna say, but anyways, with like for example, when you look at like for example teams that have done rebuilds, right? Like for example, Real Madrid, when you cycled out Ronaldo and them, the only players that really remain from the God Madrid years are Modric and Kroos and Carvajal, right? Those are the 3 pieces that they've kept. Everything
they also have the fluid budget to be able to cycle that out.
I know, but they turned it over in 3 years because, like for example, 17-18 was the last time they won. They didn't win for 3 years. They were out in the round of 16 to Ajax. They, quarterfinals, semifinals, and then it was the season after Chelsea won it. I think it was 21-22 where they won against Liverpool. It was like about a 3 to 4 year gap.
So if we did that in 17-18, it would take us maybe 3 years, but we fell so hard back. This is why I'm saying it's 5 years.
We doubled down. We doubled down on it. Like for example, when Klopp came into Liverpool, it took him about 3 to 4 years to win the Champions League title that he did. 3 to 4 years. And that Liverpool after Brendan Rodgers, they blew that whole shit up. They blew it up.
They also needed to with Brendan Rodgers. They had a very keeping the ball type. So that they were trying to keep the ball away from the opponent by just keeping the ball with lots of dink and dunk and short passes, and they barely produced anything. They had Xabi Alonso and Fernando Torres, who received some balls by Xabi Alonso, but those were mostly long balls. They didn't have the philosophy of playing high press, earning the ball back, hitting you with quick wingers on cut, pressuring you into the box. So they needed to revamp the whole roster to suit the play style Klopp wanted.
And to Anthony here saying the Leafs haven't won playoffs. They did win a playoff series last year, but I know what you're saying, and that's sort of the point, is that even though they blew everything up, it still didn't get them a championship. That's how hard it is. That's how long it takes. And you really have to, that's why you have to do a complete, you have to blow it up, and then you have to go in with the crew with the pistol in the back of people's heads in case they're still alive. Kill everything. You gotta kill it all.
The rumors say that the Philadelphia 76ers still trust the process.
Yeah, they still do. The Pistons are joining them. So Vlad says he doesn't think they need a complete overhaul, just a few specific ceiling raisers are what we needed, and we sell certain players, and so be it. But the problem is the players that we need to get out essentially are the ceiling raisers, the ones that you need to essentially blow up and move on, right? Mm-hmm. Those are the guys that, for example, it's just the ceiling. They're not for example, Locatelli's supposed to be the floor setter. He's not. He has no. That's just it's grating. There's nothing there. For example, again, even touch on what Misak said. Chiesa's never been a guy that's led a franchise. He's never been the guy that's led the team, even at Fiorentina. He's never hit more than 8 goals, which was to me, that was astounding. Same thing with his assists. It's just that's not a ceiling raiser, right? That's just, he's a luxury piece.
At this point, for his price, that's what he's turned into, because he hasn't taken that next world-class step, if you will. And I mean, you can blame Allegri if you will. Cool, whatever. But at this point, you gotta blow it up, and he's one of the first pieces.
Because you have Francesco Totti saying that, hey, look, I don't trust Dybala as a centerpiece for the Roma project. I mean, he's a luxury piece. Chiesa's, Duson's, Dybala's, Holland's, those are guys where you're at the pinnacle and you need that one last that wild card to get you over the hump. where it's like you need to look at, for example, you need a Rodri, you need a Chouameni, you need, those are foundational players, those are floor raisers, those are the players that essentially are the ones that take you, that elevate your game. Those are the pieces that you need to build around. Like, for example, with Inter, Chanalogu, Barella, those are your main pieces that you function, you siphon in around. Lautaro is technically a luxury for them. It's really their midfield that's their main stable. Same thing with Real Madrid. Same thing with Manchester City. Bayern Munich as well. They've always been one of those teams that want to have their midfield as their stable piece. Because, like, for example, you look at Bayern Munich, they're not building. Harry Kane's not their building piece. Harry Kane was a luxury piece for them. The main focus they want. Go ahead.
No, Kane was just a luxury piece they thought they can throw in comparison to the season before, where they won the league just by the last game because Dortmund choked it away, and they thought that they are just the striker away, but found this season out that they have a whole midfield also to rebuild basically. Right. So they tried to cover up the cracks basically.
Yep, and then, like, for example,
which is what we did.
Yeah, and then when they purchased Lewandowski too, is more of a luxury piece because they had that midfield that was playing behind him. It's always one of those things, right? When you have those foundational center back and foundational midfielders, everything else becomes luxury pieces. Because remember, everyone's like, "Oh man, Trent Alexander-Arnold, this, blah blah blah. The guy can't defend to save his life," but he wasn't. He's the luxury piece for Liverpool. Their main staples are their midfield. It's the same thing with a Klopp team as well. If their midfield is playing well, they do. Look at Liverpool this season, right? Same thing with Arsenal as well. They have Gabriel Jesus as their main striker. But you look at their midfield,
my guy.
Yeah, and if you look at their midfield of Jorginho or Rigard, those are their main two staples, or Rigard and Jorginho.
Rice covering up, showing the defense up.
Exactly. So those are the main pieces. The offense and those become luxury pieces. Same thing with Manchester City, with Rodri and De Bruyne and Bernardo Silva. Those guys have been there for a decade, it seems like. They were still consistently cooking and producing. They just got Haaland to get them over the hump. And if you've seen this season, if Haaland gets siphoned off from those three, Haaland can't really do much on his own. If you watched Arsenal versus Man City, what did Arsenal do?
It was a bore fest.
It was a bore fest because
they isolated Haaland completely. Had him always double teamed by Gabriel and William Saliba, and he didn't. He had in the first half 4 touches, and I didn't look up like his numbers in the second half, but he didn't receive like any balls. He was completely isolated, and if you don't have the midfield binding to the striker, then you can have Lewandowski, Haaland, or whoever, and he won't produce shit. Like
he did miss a sitter. I'm not gonna lie. Haaland absolutely shanked the sitter. But here's the funny thing about that game. You want to know what Arteta did? He Allegri balled the shit out of that game.
Oh yeah.
Went for a 0-0. If we have opportunities, we take it. But he has the capabilities to look dangerous on the counter because they did a couple of times. Except Arsenal players it's Arsenal tradition. Bottle it when it matters. That's kind of how it was because there was opportunities for Arsenal to win that game. But the idea is with all due respect to who we have, Locatelli is not a floor setter. Locatelli, to me, is the softest midfielder I've ever seen on this play. Yeah, he makes amazing slide tackles. Like, for example, he was slide tackling the ball to slide tackle it out of bounds instead of taking the ball. Like, I was watching DeCilio do that as well. Like, I was watching our players literally slide tackle a free ball to kick it out or to kick it out of bounds because they were scared. That, to me, is outrageous. I've never seen that. Where they have the ball, instead of playing it back to facilitate play, they would kick it out. That is the most coward. That's coward. That's playing with fear. Which to me is, how are you afraid of a 9th place Lazio? That to me just boggles the mind. What did Tudor come into the locker room and say, "Hey, I'm gonna clap your cheeks, boy," to every single player or something like that? Is that what happened? Tudor's just looking at all those players and just like licking his lips and just going like I'm gonna devour you tonight, little man. Like is that what happened? Like seriously. And
no, but the problem is Tudor is a coach that presses the shit out of you. Like depending on the personnel he has, he plays a high press or at least like a mid press or something like that. At least And our midfielders, sorry, but let me get into these numbers. Locatelli has an 85% pass percentage, Rabiot 82.5, McKennie 77, Miretti 75.
That's terrible.
Pressure those guys, and one of every fifth pass lands with the opponent. And in the case of Miretti, maybe out of 5 passes, 2 will land with the opponent again. We give away possessions. We don't have any control in the midfield. We lose every ball. We concede counterattacks because of those, and we put the pressure on our defense, which is also not performing well since January.
And to answer Vlad's question, start who instead of DeCilio? Because Anthony here mentioned DeCilio. I would have personally dropped Cambiaso into a fullback role and put Weah as the right one, and then you wouldn't have needed DeCilio. So
because he started Danilo as a right back. Yeah. So it's DeCilio, Bremer, Rugani, and then Danilo, which it's just like Danilo had to step in to play the ball forward because Locatelli had no balls to do it. So then that just left us wide open to a press on the right side. It was just, I looked at it and it's just like, for example, you could have played DeCilio there, and then like, for example, you would have Weah on the right. That at least gives you something there, instead of leaving Danilo and Cambiaso on one side and completely leaving your left exposed to DeCilio, because they attack DeCilio's side. Chiesa's not good defensively. Chiesa won't drop down defensively in a 4-3-3. So then it leaves DeCilio, who just came back from an ACL tear, all by himself practically most of the time. And then what? You had nothing. That was the stupidest starting lineup I've ever seen in my life. It made no sense.
It was shocking. It was shocking. When I saw it, I was like,
yeah.
What's going on?
Like, honestly, it felt like it really felt like just Allegri just took his nuts out and just dangled it in front of everybody, because that's what it was. Remember how Cambiaso got cooked by Crava against Napoli? It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, but Felipe Anderson was on the right hand. Sorry, but I don't think Anderson will torch him constantly if we had played Cambiaso on the left and Weah on the right, and like if Weah hadn't had the energy in the second half, like then bring in DeCilio. That's what I don't understand. I would have played Cambiaso on the left, and I don't think he would have been torched like by Felipe Anderson the whole game.
What I don't understand, Vlad, is that you said you wanted to join on Monday night, and you are still in the chat, even since you would DM in Discord. So I don't know, man.
You want to know? I figured out what spooked all the players. I figured out what spooked them. Someone came into their locker room and simply just did this.
You just wake up and then your heart is just pumping. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, so those moments are crazy.
That's what happened.
I like how I get to be the big dude.
Contract fulfilled.
You get to be the big cook.
Jesus. Guys, please like and subscribe. KB on point too. Just as I'm saying it, 22 viewers should be equal to 22 likes. Let's do it, boys. KB knows. He's a streamer as well. Donut Vanguard, if you like some old school video games, he's on it. So he knows how important those likes are. So please do.
Those moments are crazy.
Yeah,
so you know it. So what do we got to do differently tomorrow, right? First things first, none of this 4-3-3 bullshit, because these players suck ass at 4-3-3s. That is my first requirement for tomorrow. Take this 4-3-3, turn it sideways, and stick it up Tudor's candy ass, because we're not using it. 3-5-2. No more experimenting. Tomorrow is for the tomorrow's practically for the season.
Well,
tomorrow's game
winning the Coppa gets us for sure in the Super Coppa.
But you're sure you're winning the Coppa?
No, but you have to, right? You have to fight for it. This actually means something.
Yeah, maybe they'll try. Maybe they'll fucking try for one.
Like it should.
It should, yeah. Fucking right, it should. That's why I'm yelling about it, because, I mean, come on, guys. You ruined the season. Don't ruin the Coppa. And there are no lineups yet. I'm checking now. So it's...
I think FotMob is still... or all the sites are recovering right now for it, because holy hell.
Oh, it is also... it's Easter Monday, so maybe they're all on holiday still, too.
The FotMob guys are still partying because they got the 4-3-3 right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Davide Motta. Fuck off.
Oh my God! It's
Jesus.
So,
all right, we're losing this one tomorrow, guys. I'm sorry.
Sorry, but we are out of this one.
Chiesa, or not Chiesa, Yildiz is getting a slide tackle studs up from Guendouzi. I'm calling it right now. So here's
Vlahovic will get a red for complaining again.
So the reason why Kostic did not play on Saturday was apparently he has virus, and he is out tomorrow as well.
He was training today, though.
I will take that with a grain of salt because
he's training with Sandro, so definitely take with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely, everyone's saying it, predicting it, 3-5-2 or a variation of such.
We won't play in anything less than 5 midfield or at least 3 central midfielders because he found out yesterday that our midfield is ass. And now imagine having 1 midfielder less. Sorry, but this won't work.
Yeah. And when I say a variation, it's like a 3-1-4-2 because Loka is basically a defender.
Vlad, if Allegri is trolling the shit out of us, you want to know this is what he gets for that. I'm gonna do it myself if he does that shit again.
Yeah, and we still have a cushion over 5th place as well because Roma not doing enough today.
Oh, but I thought De Rossi was the fucking football savior of Rome. Oh,
he's not doing horrible.
I guess the new coach, the new coach boost wore off finally.
I mean, what did they expect?
I don't.
He's going to be an okay coach.
He's going to be an okay coach. He's going to go maybe 1 season. Roma extend him for 1 season, and then nothing happens, and then he leaves.
And the carousel continues.
And they don't. It's unfortunately, like, I'm sorry, but like, De Rossi doesn't have he doesn't have a football ideology. De Rossi just started doing a first team like 6-7 weeks ago. The guy's learning on the job. Have you ever seen a coach that started off like De Rossi and like long-term stayed at a club? No, it hasn't happened because
it's basically like the Salt Bay of Italian coaches.
Yeah, he's
throw
the flavor.
Some salt on it. See what happens.
It's the flavor of the week.
Oh man, no, we'll see. I mean, I like De Rossi because
by the way, we
go ahead. And not all of us at the same time.
No, I just wanted to say, and by the way, we may be. Do you hear me, or is it cut off from me?
You're good. You're good.
All right. So we may be even a bit lucky, and Serie A may even get 6 Champions League places because if one of those that are in the Europa League win it, and they may get 1 additional Champions League spot, and so. If we have the additional one for the coefficient, we have actually 6 Champions League spots for Serie A. So maybe we may be still safe even if we fuck it up completely.
Though if Milan win it though, it still stays at 5.
Yeah, with Milan, yes, but if Roma or Atalanta win it, they are still in the Europa League. Then it would work.
It's going to be, to be honest with you, it'd be a tough ask for an Italian team to win it just because of Leverkusen and Liverpool still being in it. I think there's, unless.
Absolutely.
Yeah, unless,
absolutely.
for me, it's like if Liverpool prioritized the Premier League over the Europa League, that's the only time I could see them falling out, which is possible, right? Because.
No, I think Liverpool will go for it 100%. The Europa League is the only competition Klopp played in that he didn't win. He won like every single competition he ever played in, except for the Europa League, and they will 100% go for that one as well.
Anthony's saying Lecce choke more than 90s Bart Simpson today. Yeah, they were. They were good. And for the record, they just stopped choking him in 2023. So they finally are like, no, we can't promote child abuse after 30-something years. How about that D, baby? But KB also saying he just isn't coach material. He's more like Gattuso. Sometimes it may be good.
Sometimes it may be good. Sometimes it may be shit.
Yeah, Dave, you can just read the comment. I'll just hit the button for you.
I didn't know you had. I didn't know you gotta. I mean, all right, we'll work on it, guys.
We pulled out too soon.
That happens. It does.
Hey, Carr says, "What up? What up?" You want to know what I think about Carr? Oh, I missed it.
Doesn't matter what you think.
No, I'm just kidding. I love you, Carr. Hi,
Speaking
buddy.
of 90s, That's probably more 2000s, but still, it's old as fuck. Okay, so that was one just massive circle jerk of a segment, but I think you guys kind of hit everything we were kind of aiming to hit here, right? So we'll get into some predictions. Do we make a recovery for tomorrow?
We have to.
We certainly have to, just like we have to win the Coppa to save something. But
we had to make a recovery the past 9 games, but didn't.
We had to get right the last 10 fucking weeks, and we haven't yet.
Yeah, no, there's but I think we do. We're at home. I think we get something here.
That didn't help us the last 10 weeks.
No, I know, but Tudor can't play his new coach card anymore.
Oh my god, it's like what's bad, a dry streak or Juve's current streak? It's like you find like Juve right now. I feel like it's when Juve finally get a win, it's like we finally got laid after a while. And we're just like, yes,
well, that's what it's like.
I need new pants. I need new pants. I have just all over.
Sometimes you just need to do a fat chick to break the streak.
So you're telling me Lazio is a fat chick?
Oh yeah, a fascist fat chick.
Damn.
Oh,
damn. That's when you're taking.
But aren't the fascist chicks most of the time the beautiful blondes that you don't expect it from?
Yeah, they are the ones that want the kink.
I know how it goes in Germany, and I have to congratulate Germany. You're now the latest country in the world to legalize cannabis. So. Round of applause.
It was always it was them.
Today's the day.
It was always
today's the day.
It was always legal for Germans. They just went to Amsterdam.
It's technically not legal there. It's illegal to transport
technically
marijuana.
Right.
Yeah, there's a nuance there, but yeah, it's not fully legal.
Yeah, in
Germany it is. It's awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say most Germans just go to Amsterdam. And just like they take care of business there.
I mean, I've been to Amsterdam a couple times, and it does hit heavy.
No, honestly, that Germany allowed it now will completely kill off the Amsterdam cannabis market, I believe.
Only 25 grams. See, now this is what makes no sense. So you're only allowed 25 grams in Germany. So an ounce is 28 grams. You think 28 would make sense. So you're only allowed 25. I can go to 30.
Yeah, but Dave, we don't go by ounces. We just go by a quarter of
Yeah.
Everything is quarters, halves, and 25 grams is bang, a nice number.
Doesn't make sense. Don't like it.
Number suck ass. Yeah, Car, we did talk about the picture of Rabiot laughing, and I was like, that's
go right to the beginning. Dash just like cucked off right.
Yeah, it's no bueno. That
it wasn't even an intro. Like it was just Dash.
No, I just whipped out my cock and just was like.
But by the way, everybody that came in late, the part where we fired everything off was the first part, so maybe you have to go back and watch that.
Okay, it came in hard. Now, seeing as we're talking about extreme right-wing things, I really do encourage everyone, and I'll throw the where are you? Right here, the QR code to get into the Discord, the Tinfoil Hat Show. There is something else that I don't know. It's not exactly YouTube friendly. I found it on MSN. It's friendly enough, but it talks about some potentially extreme right wing stuff related to football. So another reason to get into the Discord.
If the FBI raid us, it's because of that article.
No, it was from MSN. It was like on the MSN homepage, but it's like it's on that border.
Canadian Dave discovers we use metric units over here.
I respect you for still being on the MSN homepage.
No, I know you use metric units, but that's what I'm saying. Like 25 grams is just like, it doesn't relate to anything. It's just 25 grams. And that's what I'm saying. In Canada, it's 30 grams. It doesn't relate to anything. It's just a random number. Fuck me. Because here's the thing, at least with us,
but then we like our system.
Okay, because with us we use grams, but we still do it like 3.5 grams, which is an eighth. So naturally, seventh is a quarter, up to 28, which is the ounce. So you can go get an ounce, 28 grams. So I did that one time. I like to buy in bulk. You save money. So I buy an ounce, and then I went to get my wife some stuff, and it put me to like 31 grams. And I'm like, sir, you can't purchase that right now. So it's like, what do you want me to do? It was like, Go to your car and wait for 15 minutes and come back? I'm like, seriously? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, because I'm 1 gram over the limits. I'll come back in 15 minutes. So I had to do that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but still, I agree with my European friend Vlad there. Honestly, a quarter of 100 grams, what a beautiful number. You know?
Well, then just make it 100. That's a beautiful number.
Yeah, but then
oh, that's too much now.
Yeah.
20 is a beautiful number. I don't know, 40. Jesus, everything in Jesus's world is 40. Use 40.
I mean, you also don't really 28 quarters past 10 or something like that.
Whatever, it's all dumb. I'm saying both systems are dumb. Anyways, but congratulations. At least you can get 25. It's a start. Sorry, I'm an extreme left wing moron. Sorry, but you live in Florida.
I think he's trolling.
Oh man, yeah, maybe it is. Okay, so of course that took a hard left. Speaking of the left,
no pun intended.
Oh man, I did intend it, but it happened.
Because like for example, there hasn't been any news or anything on the match tomorrow, right? So we don't even know the lineups. All I know is whatever it was yesterday, whatever it was Saturday. Don't run that shit again. That's all I'm asking for.
Yeah, there was a little bit. So Kies is favored. That is something over Yield is obviously more. One as so 550 not too long ago, 40 minutes ago, came out again, reiterating Thiago Motta. That's Culture Mercato. And another thing that I saw a couple news sources of today, both Juve and Leverkusen are interested in Tidiam Gomez from Cannes, the same place in Band of Brothers. If you watch that movie,
I'm sorry, but I never heard of him. Like I read it in the Discord earlier, but
he's a
don't
second
know anything about it.
Ligue 2.
Right now, I don't even know which position he plays because I hadn't the time to look him up.
You know, I'm gonna give a prediction here. I'm gonna give a prediction in spite of Paramount Plus here because I saw something. Because we're talking about how Tudor's got an immediate impact. I guarantee you, Lotito sacks Tudor within 1.5 years.
Mm-hmm. I'd put money on
1.5 years.
What's the over under?
1.5.
Frankie, give us a number on that.
1.5. I get very irritated. It's just lack of punditry, really, man. Like I swear to God, like these I can't wait until Paramount Plus loses serial licensing just so I don't have to listen and see their stupid shit every weekend.
How long is the contract, by the way?
It ends this year, I think.
Yeah, I think it does.
Well,
so I might be saved. I might be saved. No, just don't. Because it's just funny because it's just like CBS hired all the rejects of ESPN to run this. Like that honestly goes to show you how it is, right? Like it's just lousy broadcasting, right? Unfortunately. Their Champions League one is good. It's more entertaining because I get to see
because they have actual players that did something, an actual good moderator, players that are experienced and don't have bias towards a single team in Italy. Like everybody of them has, of course, the biases towards their former teams, but yeah, they don't chill out for Inter or something like that.
Yeah, and I love seeing Thierry Henry simp for Kate Abdo because I think it's the most corniest thing ever.
I love how
but the poor guy lost her to Malik.
I love how the whole chat like Tudor's out in a year.
Apparently, what is it? Apparently, she cheated.
Oh, don't trust Jamie Carragher.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
That one went far. That one went far.
Put her on blast on there. I was just like, Carragher did not give a fuck.
Man,
that
one went far.
That was wild.
So, because you're already off on a tangent and you talk about the two of you, and I'm sandwiching between the two of you now, so you might as well reiterate it now because not everyone was here at the beginning when we mentioned it. But this weekend, the WrestleMania watch party in the Discord. So, German Dave and Dash are going to be handling that one. So, if you are a wrestling nerd, get in on that all weekend. Hours.
Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
I know Sal will be in there. Sal's already asking for it. So Sal will be there. German Dave will be in there, like half awake or comatose. Frankie will be there. I'm trying to think who else.
There's gonna be a few of you guys.
Yeah, there's gonna be a few of us. We would do like I voted against doing it like a live stream on YouTube because we'll probably say some stupid shit, right? So it's just like I don't want us to get in trouble by YouTube.
Oh yeah, we will get canceled immediately.
We will get canceled. So is John Cena going to be there? Probably. Wouldn't surprise me. Canadian coverage is worse. Always remember what the States have.
It just doesn't have a halftime show or anything. It's the same actual feed. It just doesn't have that bolt-on crap. They just show replays and other games and crap.
It sounds actually significantly better.
It's less.
Honestly,
it's less shitty for you.
Like, look, to be honest with you, the only person that is on this panel for Paramount Plus that has like an idea on what the hell they're talking about is Mike Grella. Like Matteo Bonetti's never played at an actual organized level, and neither has Marco. Maybe Poppy Pat, whatever her name is, Poppy Milner, whatever. I think she played collegiate, but she's just a moderator. But like, I look at those there. The only person that I like listen to that I enjoy listening to is Aaron West. And he's not on there. He's on their Golazzo, whatever the hell. It's such a corny name too. CBS Sports Golazzo Network. Like really?
Oh, they like to just like tifo football, right? The English love to use the Italian words.
Like it's like they're like trying. Like it's like, hey, we're trying to appeal to like a Latin America population instead of like that's why we called it Golazzo.
Yeah, no, that's totally what it is.
Like I don't know, it just seems kind of corny to me. But
and all the white hipsters in the States are like, yeah, Golazzo. That's
like
cool.
The only people that listen to the Paramount Plus broadcast that really like it a lot are just going to be those football hipsters, right? Like it's just unfortunately, it's just the folks that just don't really understand game, right? And they listen to these guys, and it's just like
the ones that are wearing the Venezia jersey.
Calcio. Oh, Dave. But I don't know. Like, and that's like the consensus that I've seen. Like, I haven't seen a single person comment or be on a call-in show or anywhere that's just like, yeah, Paramount Plus is amazing. It's great. I enjoy the experience. Like, you can't even use their app. Their app can't work on half the platforms that you watch it on. It's like you pay $10 a month, and it's just like $7 or $10 a month, and it's just garbage. Peacock, you pay $5 a month, and it's like the most phenomenal thing out there.
Honestly, I'm happy at the very least that you can stream it, because back in the day, the only way was like on Rai, at least here in Canada.
We had ESPN back then.
No, ESPN's a very American channel. Like we had to get Rai, and it would only show one game at a time. So like it would not always show the game that you wanted, right?
Here's what makes it funny, right? ESPN gave fuck all about Serie A, but still had a better quality stream player than Paramount Plus does. And Paramount Plus is like trying to market the shit out of it. Like it was on ESPN2 or ESPN3. And then like, it was like a mediocre, small little like cube window that you would watch it through. And then sometimes the full screen would work, and you could actually pause and rewind properly. So it's just like, I was just like, hey, this is great. And then Paramount Plus is just absolutely terrible. Hi guys.
All right, we got an Interfan.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
man.
Welcome into enemy territory. Don't worry, we don't bite. Hi guys, I'm ready.
We judge only a little bit.
A little bit.
I don't bite. I just nibble the back of the ear.
I just want to ask, can we have your midfield, please? Like, can we just have your midfield?
No, just one of them. Just one of them.
I vote not Chongalongu. I can't pronounce his name.
Can you give me Aslani? I mean, you can have Chanalogo. Give me Aslani. At least Aslani is like better than Locatelli.
Okay, so I think he wants to know why we're so against Allegri. Is that
no?
He's saying,
no. He's saying today some Juventus fans protested against Allegri in Turin. They can protest all they want. Our board doesn't give a shit.
And honestly, that at least I didn't hear anything about the protest. Tells me all it needs.
It probably wasn't big. There was a protest because political stuff. It was on the highway behind my house today, and it was just like nobody's listening to you guys. But anyways, so you are from Italy. I hate to say it. Maybe you know this. Maybe you don't. I don't know. At least within the Juventus camp, the actual Italian fans tend to be the worst ones.
Yes.
Like they're the most critical without any real like objectivity to that criticism.
Well, that and they get pissed when people outside of Italy like you follow Juventus.
Some of them do, yeah. Some of them are like, "Why are you English? Why are you talking about Juventus in English?" That is like, I mean,
like that to me, yeah, that to me used to baffle my mind. Where it's just like Juventus, like apparently, like if you talk to an Italian in Italy and you're like, "Yeah, I'm a Juventus supporter," ooh, it's not yours. It's not yours. Like that to me always just like that's the one thing I hated about the community, the Juventus community, is just like the amount of entitlement that the fan base had. Just like it's mine. Why do you like it? Paramount is so bad. Consistent crashes and bugs. It's because they spent their entire budget on Marco and Matteo. That's why the app doesn't work.
Okay, so this is why Italian fans are the worst. There's rumors that Allegri has shares in Juventus, and for this reason he is still there. They just make shit up.
And by the way, those news and rumors are also what is destroying Ferrari since like 2 decades by now, the Formula 1 team.
Yes, I mean, we can get into that too, but okay, so I mean, maybe he does, and I don't know this for sure.
I'm pretty sure it's a conflict of interest if that was the case, but
I don't know. Juve is a publicly traded company. Isn't Sal an owner of Juve?
Yeah, he is.
You can go out and go to the Milan stock market and buy Juventus.
I am a bit of owner of Juventus.
There you go.
I bought some stock and I said, here for your, and I put on the comment for your transfer mercado this summer.
I love this. Dave, remember when Rye gave live score highlights in the middle of a game coupled with horse racing? I don't remember the music, but I'm glad you do. I don't put a Canadian broadcasting is so bad that's just kind of like expected. Horse racing. Like, what is horse racing music anyways? I'm gonna type that in, see what I get. Bear with me, guys.
All right, Vlad says wait until they find out the board will keep him there for another year when he secures top 4. I can't wait. Then we'll see some certain pages on Instagram make stupid posts and we just get to laugh at them again. Car says, have Italian fans try to say that to the Indonesian. Oh my goodness. What is it? Remember? Oh my goodness. This was a basketball thing. Remember the Indonesian Steph Curry fans? Like the Warriors fans when like the Warriors were at the peak of their powers? Holy hell, that used to be so toxic. The amount of times I would see Steph Curry is better than LeBron James ever will be, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, what?
What did you say?
What? I'm running late, so I'm behind in the pod. German Dave is absolutely right about this team. And Allegri, spot on analysis.
Like just now, because he went.
I think he's watching the rewind.
Yeah, if you're watching the rewind, yeah, because that's where all the heat happened. Now, I mean, we're just waffling at this point.
Yeah.
We're like we need to kill the show, but we're just kind of like dragging this on a little bit longer. I don't.
I have still some like couple of fun facts if you want to hear them before killing it off, so we can cry some last tears before tomorrow. So, you can guess if you want. How many teams have a higher pass percentage that we do? Just 13. As a hint, we are above average.
In Europe or in Italy?
No, Syria.
Everyone?
I guess not.
Everyone?
No. I said 13, but apparently we're not that bad.
Yeah, not that bad. Yeah.
So what are
we are in P8, but which is above average. It should be okay. Inter is not as well. Is not as high up, but do you know what the biggest problem is though? If we have only the 8th highest pass completion with 81.3, I might add, which is horrible. Do you know on which position we are in pass completion against? So what the pass completion by the opponent is?
It's got to be the worst. Everyone completes like at least 90% of their passes when they play against us because none of our players press.
13th.
We are first. we allow the highest pass percentage while
man, that's bad.
P8 ourselves. So tell me, how are we controlling the game?
Oh, No,
my God.
we're not. We already established that we are not. KB finds it baffling how the Juventus management are doing what Interesti, you mean, we're doing during the 2010s?
Just on Vlad's point, no, we don't need the highest pass completion, but if we allow the highest, then you need it because you don't have the ball at all.
Okay, speaking of Italian journalists, what do you exchange Yildiz for
What?
No, I think Yildiz's ceiling is...
Who's the journalist?
Let me give you a counter. I will do a counter offer. I will give you Locatelli for Asllani. Locatelli for Asllani.
That's
I give you
I don't know.
No,
I give you Vlahovic. Dude, let's give them Vlahovic for Thuram, and I would do a party tonight.
I'm telling you, Locatelli for Asllani. I will give you that.
And Anthony's saying yes. Who won? If you're talking about a right now piece, Thuram is obviously better. But if you're talking about potential down the line, long term, I don't know. I think Yildiz still needs to show it, but I think there could be some good potential there.
That would hurt Inter so much more if they lost Thuram. Thuram is crucial to how Inter play.
No, I think both of them are more important to their clubs there now. Like they need the physicality and the passing skills, etc. of Thuram to play for him to play off of Lautaro, and we need Yildiz basically to create something for Vlahovic with his dribbling skills. Like there are different profiles, both play second striker. But I think everybody is good where they are right now.
Yeah. I mean, that seems like a bit of a reach because nobody's talked about that. And unfortunately, and not to say this doesn't happen anywhere else, but I know it. And I even read, there was this book written by a journalist. He was an Englishman, lived in both Spain and Italy, and he wrote books called The Spaniards and the Italians. I read the Italian ones. And one of the things he was making fun of was how Italian journalists just kind of make shit up as they please. And there's no real integrity. But within the concept of Italy, it's okay. That's just what's accepted. And I see this because I at least read the translations. I'm not fluent in Italian. But it's true. I mean, Italian journalists, and I'm not trying to like stereotype hard, but the information's there every day for you to see it. They just make shit up. There are opinion pieces that aren't labeled as such, more or less. So, I mean, just because you read a newspaper or write for a newspaper doesn't exactly make you in the know. Just like how me, Dave Dash here, we run a YouTube channel, and there's YouTube channels out there, social media accounts that will just say shit because it's their opinion and make it sound like fact, whether it's footy or like flat earth theory or whatever the fuck.
Hollow Earth.
Whatever, you know what I'm saying? People just go on the internet and make shit up, just like they go in the newspapers and make shit up. I'm not saying that's what we're doing. We try not to. I mean, sometimes we have a bit of fun, but I think it's, at least I hope the humor is displayed as such.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could, but like I still think that hurts Inter more than it benefits them if they lose Thuram for Yildiz.
And there was one. See, and how much truth is that? There was that one situation there because Yildiz was
the haircut.
Hours. The haircut.
No, it was the haircut.
British tabloids can't. The tabloids are bad, but at least in England, they have a semblance of a real newspaper as well. You know.
No, honestly, I am proud that I live in a country where most of the newspapers and like sources are pretty accurate because they actually have to be, because everybody will sue the shit out of you if you report wrong information.
Yeah, isn't Germany the most litigious country?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because people think America is, because Americans sue for everything. But Germans are worse.
You will get excommunicated by universities if you have like a couple of single words wrong in your essays. They actually give a shit about that. If you quote, you have to quote it, because if not, like it's what is it called?
I think Yeah, I think the only
It is a case of plagiarism, and therefore you will get excommunicated, actually.
Yeah, I think the only spot that's more stricter than Germany is Japan. Japan's like copyright and plagiarism rules are like fucking insane.
And that's why like Sony and Nintendo are like some of the largest walled gardens.
Well, the one guy that made the Pokemon mod for Pal Worlds, like Game Freak and Nintendo are hunting that poor man down.
The user emulators got shut down.
Yeah.
Gianluca Rossi. Okay, let's look him up.
And Dimester said that One Piece is pausing for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And now we're into anime. All right, Gianluca Rossi.
During the best part.
Man. I know. Fucking cliffhanger. Oh, so tough. Oh, I gotcha. He's kind of like, I think he's like the Inter Romeo Agresti.
Yeah, maybe. I want to say I've heard this name, but it is a pretty, standard.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, look, if I were you, Emma, I would be concerned if they were trading Thuram for Yildiz.
There's nothing from our side that has said that, so this is clearly just him pushing an angle.
Yeah, because we haven't seen it on our end, but at the same time, Thuram is important to your team.
Okay, I'm just pointing out, if you got the picture of you in your military uniform back when you were like young and not fat, you're still kind of fat. No, man. You don't post the old. You don't post the old military photo. I'm calling you out.
God damn, Dave. No chill.
No chill, especially in Italy. They don't even. It's not like America where it's like, army, fuck those bastards up. Italy is just like, oh, cool, you got a government job.
Yeah. We haven't heard anything on our end, but again, I think like for me, I would think that's just not a good business unless Inter have financial issues.
And by the way, if there would be like any truth to this, the club would let, and that would be the case where they let Max go before they will let go Yildiz for that deal.
Yeah,
at this point,
for some
absolutely.
reason, yeah, for some reason, Juventus have a very weird fixation to little boys. I'm not sure why.
We're the leader in little boys coming up through the
we don't like ranks. The big boys, which is why he didn't get
we want the little ones. Yes, the little ones where we can impose our will on them. We can take care of them. Very good.
Okay, guys, you're doing a German accent, and we have a real life German.
I know, right? I don't even need to do that anymore.
Hey, by the way, that was a pretty good one. You're improving.
That's all right.
I try.
Okay, guys. Well, I think that one kills it. We had a bit of fun at the end, which I think we all needed. We got through the yelling. We got through the laughter. We did the roller coaster. Who's the fool? I think we're all the fools because we're still shit.
We're all still
here. We're all still watching it.
We're
the fools.
We're Rabio laughing, but we're still shit.
So yeah, if you thought the answer would be Allegri, no, it's you. So on that note, guys, of course, we're all in this one together. Please like and subscribe. Dash, you take away today.
We're all in this together. All right, everybody, thanks for tuning into the Shithouse Show, or the post. It's not a post game; it's a Shithouse Show. I'm not even gonna waffle it there. But anyways, guys, we do have the watch along tomorrow, so we will begrudgingly watch the game tomorrow, and then we'll do the tinfoil hat show on Wednesday. And then, oh my God, please, for the love of God, win! Please win. We'll see you tomorrow.
And then I'm going to the Balkans and drinking. That I know there's different names.
Dave's going to do a real life Taken scene.
It's Rakia where I'm going is what they call it. So wish me luck. My liver.
And by the way, we're still shit.